I've got a load of this tissue paper that came with my acetate, because I bought a box of acetate and it was in between each sheet. Never want to throw anything away. So what I'm going to do is try and put a big tree in the middle of this canvas. Before I do that, I am going to curve some of these edges so it's got a nice shape to it. And that's going to be really easy to do. All I'm going to do is roughly cut like that. And that should do to start with. And now I'm going to start putting it down. So I've mixed up some white glue, 50% white glue, 50% water, and then I squeezed in some acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, just as a good measure. I'm also going to use my spray bottle as well. That's got just water in it. I can put my tissue paper on here, paint that on. I'm using a flat brush, and now I can bring in some branches like this by just pushing that down and moving it around. Now, I think it might be a little bit messy to start with, but that's fine. It doesn't matter about that. We can move this about till we're happy with it. And we want it to be a bit abstracty anyway. I think it needs a bit more there. And one of these offcuts is going to do me lovely there. And I think we need another one here. And I'm making sure this is quite wet so it blends in and really turns to kind of like mush. And then it should stick really well to this. Adding on bits as I think there's some blank bits that it needs. Well, I think that's kind of tree-like now. What I can do is I can then look around this and think if there's any other big gaps that need a bit pushed in. I can do that. So what I'm now going to do is obviously the trunk. And for the trunk, I want it to be at a bit of an angle. So I'm going to paint that on or glue that down. Let that soak into there for a couple of minutes and then carry on and doing the same thing. And then I'm going to bring some roots out here as well. There. And now if I've got any gaps that I think need filling in or changing around, then I can go ahead and do that like this. And what I'll do is I'll leave this somewhere really warm to dry. And then once it's fully dry, I can then think about going over it and doing some painting on it. That was really quite easy to do. I'm not sure how it's come out. Let's have a look. I'll clean the bottom of this off. I do think actually that's very tree-like. I mean, abstract tree-like. I mean, it's never going to win an award for anything botanical, is it? Well, this is all lovely and dry now, and I have to say it has come out much better than I even could have hoped it had come out. It does certainly look like a tree. Now, I'm really nervous about painting this because I think I might ruin it. But if I do, I can always go over it with some white paint and start again, I suppose. Now, I'm going to put a background into this, which is going to be a blue background. To get a blue background, and I'm going to do the whole thing in blue. And just putting a bit of white paint down. And some blue paints down. And this is a cerulean blue. And I'm also going to put some ultramarine blue down. And a tiny bit of phthalo blue. Not too much. I'm going to wet my brush and then paint this over. And now I'm going to make sure that I go all the same way, getting in all these little nooks and crannies and cracks. So there is not much white from the background. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that now. Just quickly paint the sides so they're not left white. I've mixed up some burnt umber in some different shades. So I've got the normal burnt umber, a bit with white, and some here with some black. And what I'm going to do is paint all my tray and the trunk with this. Just adding some of the different shades of it into it as I think it needs to be added. And I'll also go around with a smaller brush like this once I've done that and go through and paint all the branches that are visible. I can always add in a few branches once I've put the leaves on. I've painted all my branches in now and given them a little bit of texture, and now it's time to add the leaves. And what I'm going to use to add the leaves is just this ball of foil. I'm going to go over it with, first of all, some sap green. Put that on my foil and then push those leaves all the way around where I want them. This is just a simple way of adding leaves. And then once I've got those in, I can go through with a lighter green. And this is a leaf green, oddly enough. And then if you feel your foil ball is getting a bit squidged and it's not producing the leaves that you want, you can just take off the outer surface of your foil and turn it inside out, and then you've got to clean a bit. If you want to put some darker ones on, you can. That's no problem as well. You can just push those on to it, very similar to what we've done here. Now, I am going to put a few yellow ones in. Not many, just a few to brighten it up a little bit. I'm going to pop some darker ones again over the top of that, of the sap green, just to finish that off. And I'm really pleased with that. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of grass green down here using a fan brush and just do some flicks up with it. And again, I will probably put both the colours, the lighter green and the darker green. Little bush. Now, I can't see that green because green and brown look exactly the same to me. So I'm having to work this without really knowing too much what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is leave that to dry. Then I'm going to give it a varnish. I'll show you what it looks like on the wall. There we go. That's all finished now and varnished. I used a satin varnish so it wasn't too glossy. I'm really pleased how this came out. I thought I was going to ruin it. I loved it when it was white, but I also love it now it's been painted up against my wall. It really has come out well. Let me know in the comments what you think, and please boop that like button if you've enjoyed this, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. Those leaves, it's such an easy way to do those leaves as well. Take care, enjoy your crafting, bye.